Be me, 26, wagey cage inhabitant current state. Biological sludge masquerading as a productive member of society. Wake up at 0600, the alarm isn't a sound. It's a physical assault generic iPhone radar tone that drills directly into the prefrontal cortex. Stare at the ceiling popcorn stucco for exactly 9 minutes. Count the bumps pattern recognition, kicks and see faces in the plaster. They look like they're screaming good morning to you too. Shower water is lukewarm because the boiler in this apartment complex is from the Nixon administration. Scrub off the night sweat put on the uniform business casual, aka the polyester shroud of mediocrity khakis that chafe the inner thigh blue button-down, that retains the smell of stress from the previous 40 washes commute, is a blur of gray concrete and brake lights. Listen to a podcast about history, people fighting wars, discovering continents, dying of plague, anything to feel a connection to a reality where actions have consequences. Arrive at the monolithic glass cube, officially known as Omnicorp Solutions, unofficially known as the waiting room for hell. Slide the keycard, beep, green light. The sound of my soul being extracted and stored in a database. Elevator. Ride up to floor 14. Smell of stale coffee and ozone. The air conditioning is set to morgue. Walk past the motivational poster. Synergy is the key to unlock the door of success. Picture of a mountain climber high-fiving a cloud. Want to put my fist through the drywall. Sit at the desk, cubicle 412. My entire universe is defined by 3 fabric-covered partitions and a Dell monitor with a dead pixel in the upper left quadrant. That dead pixel is my best friend. It's the only thing in here that refuses to work. Respect. Put on the headset. This is the ritual. The moment the foam pads touch my ears, anon dies. I am now Alex from customer retention. My voice raises an octave. My cadence slows to a condescending lilt. I am a puppet, and the software on my screen is the hand up my ass system. Boot. The CRM software is bright neon blue and orange. Assault on the eyes. It's called Joy Connect. Whoever named this should be tried at the Hague. Pop-up notification. Immediately meeting in the huddle zone. In 5 minutes. Get up. Legs feel heavy, like I'm walking through molasses. Walk to the center of the office. The huddle zone is just a patch of carpet that's a slightly different shade of gray. Standing there is Gary. Gary is our team lead. Gary is 35 going on 12. He's wearing a tie with rubber ducks on it. His teeth are too white. His eyes are wide, manic, vibrating with caffeine and corporate Kool-Aid. Good morning, team. Gary's voice booms. It echoes off the low acoustic tile ceiling. Nobody responds. We just shuffle in. A herd of cattle waiting for the bolt gun. Look around at the other inmates. To my left is Brenda. Brenda is 50. Smells like peppermint and resignation. She's knitting something shapeless. She smiles at me. It's a pained grimace, tight around the eyes. She's trying so hard to pretend this is a community. I hate her for it. I hate her kindness because it makes the cage feel cozy. If she stopped smiling, maybe we'd all realize we're burning and finally riot. But no. Brenda smiles. Brenda brings cookies. Brenda applies a band-aid to a severed limb. To my right is Kyle. Kyle is 22, vape pen tucked behind his ear like a carpenter's pencil. Eyes glazed over. He's scrolling TikTok on his phone, hiding it behind a notebook. He doesn't care. He's figured out how to dissociate completely without leaving the room. I envy him. I hate him too. His apathy is a mirror. Okay, guys. Gary claps his hands. The sound is wet and sharp. Numbers were a little soft yesterday on the upsell metrics. He pulls down a whiteboard, draws a frowny face, a literal frowny face. Mr. Sad Face is hungry. He wants satisfied customers. I can feel a vein throbbing in my temple. It's syncing up with the flicker of the fluorescent light above Gary's head. Hummum-buzz, hummum-buzz. So today, we're doing a little challenge. Gary pulls out a bag of fun-sized Snickers bars. Whoever gets the most 5-star ratings by lunch gets the drumroll, please. He does a drumroll on his thighs. Nobody moves. The Snickers stash. I look at the candy. Then I look at the window. It doesn't open. Safety glass reinforced. Can't jump. If you wanted to, trapped in the fishbowl, just swimming in circles while Gary taps on the glass. Let's get out there and make magic happen. Break. Shuffle back to the desk. Sit down. Headset on. Beep. Thank you for calling Omnicorp. This is Alex. How can I brighten your day? The voice isn't mine, it's an auto-generated response coming from my throat. The caller starts screaming immediately. Something about a bill, something about fraud. I don't listen to the words, I listen to the tone. It's the sound of a trapped animal on the other end too. We're just two rats in a maze squeaking at each other through fiber optic cables. Look across the aisle. Miller is sitting there. Miller has been here longer than anyone, 10 years. He's staring at his screen. His headset is on the desk. He's not typing. His phone is blinking. Red call waiting, call waiting, call waiting. He's just staring, mouth slightly open, eyes unblinking. He looks like a glitched NPC, like his texture file failed to load. I watch him for a full minute, while the customer in my ear threatens to sue me personally. Miller. Brenda leans over from her cubicle. Miller, hon, your light is blinking. Miller doesn't move, he doesn't even twitch. He has abstracted. His mind has finally hit the render limit and crashed to desktop. Gary notices. Gary trots over, rubber duck tie swinging. Hey champ, everything okay? Tech issues. Gary waves a hand in front of Miller's face. Nothing. The lights hum louder. The air smells like burning dust. I feel a cold sweat prickle on my back. It's contagious, whatever Miller has. It's airborne, the realization that none of this is real, that the metrics are fake, the money is digital numbers, and we are trading our finite heartbeats for Snickers bars. Security comes 5 minutes later. Two guys in uniforms that don't fit. They gently lift Miller out of his chair. He's stiff as a board, rigor mortis of the soul. They walk him out. Nobody says a word. Gary claps his hands again. Okay team, let's keep the energy up. Miller's just taking a personal day. He logs into Miller's computer, sets his status to offline. Miller is gone, deleted, replaced by the void of an empty chair. I look at my screen. The dead pixel is staring at me. It looks a little bigger than it did this morning. Swallow the bile. Click ready. Thank you for calling Omnicorp. The cycle resets, but now I'm watching the empty chair and I can feel the static building up behind my own eyes. Tick, tick, tick. Be me, still sitting in the aftershock of Miller's deletion. The office air conditioning is blasting. It's set to 68 degrees, but it feels like absolute zero. Shiver in my polyester blend button-down. Look at Miller's desk. It's been 45 minutes. Maintenance is already there. Guy in a gray jumpsuit spraying industrial cleaner on the laminate, wiping away the sweat, the dead skin cells, the residual despair. He moves with the efficiency of a subroutine spray. Wipe, polish, spray, wipe, polish. Miller's personal effects are in a cardboard box, a stapler, a framed photo of a dog that looks like it died in the 90s. A half-empty bottle of antacids. That's the sum total of 10 years. The texture of reality feels thin here, like if I poked the cubicle wall too hard, my finger would clip through into the wireframe. Gary returns. He's bouncing, literally bouncing on the balls of his loafers. His teeth are so white they look like they're rendering at a higher resolution than the rest of his face. He claps his hands. The sound is wet and sharp. All right, Omnicorp family, gather round, huddle up. We don't huddle, we drag our chairs out into the aisle like reluctant prisoners in the yard. The wheels squeak. In a dissonant chorus, screech, screech, screech. It sounds like a jagged violin solo. Gary is holding a colorful chart. Primary colors: red, blue, yellow. It looks like something designed for a kindergarten classroom or an asylum. I know we're all feeling a little down about Miller's sudden departure. He makes a sad face, its exaggerated bottom lip jutted out, brows furrowed. It holds for exactly 2 seconds before snapping back to the default grin. But the show must go on, and to keep our spirits high, I'm launching a new initiative. He flips the chart, the smile hunt. I feel my stomach drop into my shoes. For every 5-star review you get this week, you earn a token. 10 tokens gets you a spin on the prize wheel. He points to a cardboard wheel in the corner. The prizes are listed in Comic Sans: Jeans Day, Pass Pizza Party, Slice. Mystery prize. The mystery prize is probably just more work or a lobotomy, hopefully a lobotomy. Jackson. Gary points a finger gun at the guy next to me. Jackson is our top seller. Lean, lanky, permanent smirk. He leans back in his chair with his hands behind his head. He's wearing a purple tie, always purple. He looks at Gary with eyes that are dead but amused. You in, boss? You ready to hunt some smiles? Jackson chuckles. It's a dry, rattling sound. Oh, I'm in, Gary. I'm gonna hunt him down and skin him. Gary laughs. Nobody else laughs. Rachel, The team lead from the next row over, flinches. She's wearing a cardigan with embroidered flowers. She always tries to smile. Her face looks like it's held together by invisible tape. That's the spirit. Gary yells, now, back to the phones. Let's make magic. Shuffle back to the desk. The headset feels heavier now, like a lead collar. Put it on beep. Thank you for calling Omnicorp. This is Alex. My voice sounds distant, like it's coming from a speaker across the room. Look at the screen. The customer relationship management software is Open Oracle V9. EXE. The interface is a garish mix of neon blue and gray. Text fields are floating slightly off-center. Rub my eyes. Maybe it's the lack of sleep. Maybe it's the caffeine. Maybe. I'm abstracting. Look over at Jackson. He's on a call. He's tossing a stress ball up and down. Thwack, thwack, thwack. He's bullying a customer into an upgrade. Look, lady, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. You want the service or not? Because I've got a line of people waiting who actually want to be happy. He winks at me. I look away. Look at Rachel. She's typing furiously. She's crying, silent tears tracking down her cheeks, but her mouth is frozen in a customer service smile. I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. Yes, I understand your frustration. Let me see what I can do. Her voice is steady. Her face is breaking. It's a split performance audio track. Happy video track. Devastated, she catches me staring, wipes her eye, quickly gives me a thumbs up. Her thumb looks bent at a weird angle. I turn back to my screen. The dead pixel is back. It's not just a black dot anymore. It's pulsating, a tiny square of static, right in the middle of the submit button. I try to move my mouse over it. The cursor disappears behind the static. Frown, tap the monitor. The static spreads. It eats the U and submit. Now it just says S. Beam it. Blink. It's back to normal. Heart rate spikes. 110 BPM. Check. My Fitbit. The screen on my watch is blank. Tap it. Nothing, just a black void where the time should be. Alex, you there? The customer in my ear. Hello, are you listening to me? Yes, I say. I'm here. I'm listening. I said I want to cancel everything. I want out. Take me off the list. I can certainly help with that. I navigate to the cancellation tab. Click. Nothing happens. Click again. The button depresses visually, but the page doesn't load. One moment. The system is a little slow. Click, click, click. The computer lets out a low, grinding noise. Like a garbage disposal chewing on a spoon. A pop-up window appears. Not a system error. It's a dialog box I've never seen before. Simple white text on a black background. Are you sure you want to leave? Yes/no. I stare at it. This isn't the cancellation screen. This isn't Omnicorp UI. My hand hovers over the mouse. I move the cursor to yes. The cursor fights me. It drags itself toward no, like there's a magnet under the desk. Fight. It pushed the mouse physically across the pad. Sweat slicking my palm. Force the pointer over yes. Click. The screen goes black for a second. I think I crashed the computer then. A single image flashes. A door, a red door with a gold handle. It's not a digital image. It looks photorealistic. Hyperrealistic, and then it's gone. The CRM software pops back up. Customer record updated. The line is dead. The customer hung up. I sit there, breathing hard. The air smells like ozone again, burning plastic and stale breath. Stand up. Legs feel shaky. Need water. Need to get away from the screen. Taking a 5. I mutter to nobody. Set status to away. Walk toward the break room. The carpet pattern is nauseating. Gray geometric swirls that seem to move if you look at them in your peripheral vision. Pass by the server room. The door is usually locked. It's usually a heavy steel door with a keycard slot. Today it's painted red. Stop dead in my tracks. Blink. It's the door from the screen. Same shade of crimson, same gold handle. Look around. Jackson is spinning in his chair, laughing at a meme. Rachel is blowing her nose. Gary is nowhere to be seen. Nobody else is looking at the hallway. Nobody else sees the red door where the server room should be. Step closer. The hum of the servers is gone. Instead, there's a low, resonant sound like wind blowing through a tunnel. Reach out. Hand trembling. Touch the wood. It feels warm, organic, not like the cold laminate of the rest of the office. Turn the handle. It turns smoothly. No lock, no resistance. Push it open. Just a crack. Bright light spills out. Not fluorescent office light. White light. Blinding. Sterile. Void. White light and music faint. Distorted carnival music slowed down to a crawl. Do. Hey, Alex. Gary's voice booms behind me. Slam the door shut. Spin around, heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. Gary is standing at the end of the hallway, hands on his hips, head tilted to the side. His eyes are wide. Too wide, he's not blinking. What are we doing over here, champ? The break room is that way. He points a long, manicured finger in the opposite direction. I look back at the door. It's gone. It's just the steel server room door again. Gray metal keycard slot, cold industrial. Look back at Gary. He's still smiling. But the smile doesn't reach his eyes. His eyes are flat, dead pixels in a high-res texture. Just got turned around, I say. Voice cracks, lost my bearings. Gary chuckles. He walks toward me, puts a hand on my shoulder. His grip is surprisingly strong, painfully strong, easy to do. This place is a maze, a labyrinth of opportunity. He squeezes. I wince. Let's get back to the desk, yeah? Those smiles aren't going to hunt themselves. He steers me around, marches me back toward the pit. I look over my shoulder. One last time. The server room door is gray, but for a split second. Just a frame glitch in my vision. I see the red paint bleeding through the metal. And I hear the music louder this time, mocking me. Sit back down. The chair feels different, harder, less comfortable. Jackson leans over. You look like you saw a ghost, buddy. Or a supervisor. He grins. Same thing, really. I don't answer. I look at my screen. The dead pixel is gone. The screen is perfect, too perfect. The colors are too bright. The contrast is too high. It hurts to look at. Thank you for calling Omnicorp. My voice is on autopilot, but my mind is back in the hallway. I know what I saw. I know it wasn't a glitch, or maybe it was. Maybe the glitch is the only real thing in this entire building. I look at the exit sign above the main doors. The green light flickers. FZZZT, FZZZT. It spells out no blink. It spells out exit again. Swallow the panic. It tastes like copper and cotton candy. Take a sip of water. Cup is flimsy paper. Cone water is lukewarm. Tastes like recycled pipe and fluoride. Swallow it anyway, just to feel something move down my throat. The copper taste lingers. Cotton candy aftertaste is fading into the background. Radiation of stale coffee and carpet glue. Adjust headset. The foam pads are disintegrating. Little black flakes of synthetic material sticking to my ears. Itchy. Scratch it off. Leave a smear of black dust on my finger. Stare at it. It looks like pixels. Rub it between thumb and forefinger until it disappears. Phone beeps. Incoming call. 3 tones. Ascending major triad. Supposed to be cheerful. Sounds like a warning siren. Slowed down by 500%. Click answer. Thank you for calling Omnicorp. This is Alex. How can I enhance your day? The script is burned into my tongue muscle memory. Overrides the nausea. Silence on the other end. Just heavy breathing, wet, rattling breathing. Hello. Is it real? Voice is garbled. Low bitrate. Sounds like a MIDI file trying to speak English. Excuse me, sir. Can I get your account number? The sky. It's just a texture. I saw the seam. Frown. Look around the pit. Jackson is balancing a stapler on his forehead. Rachel is typing furiously, smiling at nothing. Gary is gone, sir. If you don't have an account number. Static. Violent. Screeching. Static. Rip the headset off. Throw it on the desk. Feedback squeal echoes for a second. Nobody looks up. Nobody flinches. Jackson doesn't drop the stapler. Rachel doesn't stop typing. Rub my temples. Migraine is setting in behind my left eye. A sharp, stabbing point of data corruption in my nervous system. Look at Jackson. Tall, lanky, wearing a purple dress shirt that's too bright for the fluorescent lighting. He's the top performer. Nobody knows how he spends 6 hours a day browsing Auto Trader and Reddit. Yet his metrics are perfect. He catches me staring. Stapler falls into his hand. Smooth motion. Too smooth. Calculated animation. Rough call, buddy. His voice has that edge, that smug, knowing frequency. Guy was crazy. I mutter, aren't they all? NPC energy, man. Total NPC energy. He swivels his chair. It doesn't squeak. Every other chair in this office screams. When it moves, Jackson's chair is silent. Hey, watch this. He points a pen at Rachel's cubicle across the aisle. Rachel, mid-40s, cardigans with animal prints. Desk covered in Funko Pops and inspirational quotes hang in their kitten poster, peeling off the fabric partition. She's been crying in the bathroom every day. This week come back with red eyes, blames allergies. Jackson taps a key on his keyboard. Loudly, suddenly Rachel's printer whirs to life. Not a normal startup, aggressive mechanical grinding. It starts spewing paper, hundreds of sheets, Fast, too fast for a budget office jet, Rachel yelps, jumps back, knocks over a mug of tea. Oh my goodness, stop, please stop. Paper is flying everywhere, covering her desk, covering the floor. She's scrambling, trying to catch them. It won't stop. Why won't it stop? Jackson is grinning, teeth too white. System glitch, rake. Probably a driver issue. Did you update Adobe? Gaslighting pure, recreational malice. Rachel is almost in tears again. I think so. I don't know. Oh God, Gary is going to be so mad about the paper budget. She's on her knees now, gathering blank sheets, trembling, pathetically grateful when the printer finally chokes and dies. It's okay, Rachel. Don't worry. She looks at Jackson, forces a smile, a terrified, brittle grimace. Thanks, Jackson. Technology, right? So silly. Turn back to my screen, stomach churning. It's not pity. I don't feel sorry for her. I feel disgusted by her weakness, disgusted by his cruelty. Disgusted that I'm just sitting here watching it like it's daytime TV flicker in my peripheral vision. Look at the data entry field on my monitor. Cursor is blinking, blink, 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 except the rhythm is off. Its Morse code. Sauce blink. Rub my eyes hard, dig knuckles into sockets until I see stars. Look again. Just a blinking cursor. Standard rate. I need coffee. I need to get away from this desk. Stand up, legs feel numb, pins and needles, circulation cut off by the ergonomic mesh. Going for a walk. I announce to no one. Jackson salutes with 2 fingers, doesn't look away from his screen. Rachel is still on the floor, stacking paper. Walk toward the break room, past the rows of empty cubicles. Department 7B. Nobody works in 7B anymore. Budget cuts or layoffs. Or they just deleted the personnel files. Lights are dimmer here. Carpet is darker, stained with years of spilled soda and hopelessness. Past Kevin's cube. Kevin, older guy, quiet, obsessed with chess puzzles, always had a new one set up on a magnetic board. Haven't seen him in 2 days. Stop, look into his cube. It's empty, not just cleared out, stripped. No computer, no phone, no magnetic chessboard, but the walls. Lean closer, squint. The gray fabric of the cubicle walls is vibrating, subtle movement like insects under the skin. Reach out, touch the fabric. It's wet. Recoil, wipe hand on pants. Black ink, viscous. Oily ink, smells like burnt hair and ozone. Look at the floor where the chair mat should be. There's a hole in the carpet, perfect square, cut out, with surgical precision. Concrete underneath. No darkness, absolute Vanta. Black void staring up at me. Feel a pull, gravity shifting like the hole is inhaling. Dizziness hits, grab the wall for support. Hand slips in the ink. Kevin. Whisper bounces around the empty cube, distorted. Echoes sound like KKK. Kevin in. He's on sabbatical. Voice booms from the ceiling. Jump, skin nearly unzipping from my skeleton. Spin around Gary, hanging upside down from the drop ceiling tiles, legs hooked through the metal grid. How? Physics doesn't work like that. He drops, lands on his feet. No sound of impact. Knees don't bend, just snap from falling to standing. Suit is immaculate, red tie, teeth glowing. Gary. Jesus. Heart is pounding again. That bird in the ribcage. Panic. Kevin. Good old Kevin. Decided to pursue other opportunities. Mainly the opportunity to not be here. Gary laughs. Sound of a laugh track played through a blown speaker. But look at his cube, Gary. Look at the floor. A point at the void square. Gary doesn't look. He steps in front of me, blocking the view, eyes unnervingly wide. Pupils dilated to pinpricks. We're doing a remodel. Open concept. Feng shui. Very trendy in the valley right now. He puts an arm around me, steers me away from the darkness. His suit fabric feels weird, too slick, like plastic wrap. Forget Kevin. Kevin is yesterday's news. We have a new initiative, Alex. A quest. A quest. A team-building exercise. Mandatory participation. We need to find the the glue stick. The golden glue stick of productivity. He's sweating, beads of digital sweat rolling down his forehead. He's glitching. I can see it now. His left eye twitches. His hand phases through my shoulder for a millisecond. Clipping error. Gary, are you okay? He freezes. Smile drops. For 1 second, just 1 second, his face goes blank. Default expression, eyes dead, mouth a flat line. I am operating within normal parameters. Voice is robotic, monotone. Then the smile snaps back like a rubber band. I'm fantastic. Never better. Top of the world, ma. Now back to work. Those capists aren't going to meet themselves. He shoves me harder than necessary. Stumble back toward the main pit. Turn around. Gary is gone. Just gone. No footsteps, no door closing. Despawned, look back at Kevin's cube. Its normal computer is their phone, is their chessboard, is there. But the chess pieces, they are all melted, fused to the board, in a lump of black plastic shiver. Violent shudder runs down my spine. Walk back to my desk. Keep head down. Don't make eye contact. Don't look at the lights. Don't look at the exit sign. Sit down. Chair feels like a trap. Jackson leans over again. Find any ghosts? Shut up, Jackson. Hostile, I like it, keeps things spicy. He pops a piece of gum, chews loudly, wet. Smacking sounds. I want to scream. I want to grab his monitor and smash it over his head. I want to tear down the fabric walls. I want to find that wooden door again. I check my pockets. Looking for a pen, feel something sharp, pull it out. It's a chess piece, white pawn, half melted, warm to the touch. Stare at it. I didn't pick this up. I didn't touch the board. Look at Jackson. He's not looking at me, he's looking at my hand. Smiling, not his usual smirk, a real smile. No, it's a warning. Checkmate, buddy. He whispers, barely audible over the hum of the AC, better keep that hidden. Gary hates contraband. Shove the pawn back in my pocket. Hand is shaking, sweat slick on my palms. Look at Rachel. She's back in her chair, staring at her screen. Her eyes are glazed over. She's typing. But her keyboard isn't plugged in. The USB cable is dangling off the edge of the desk. Swinging gently, pendulum tick-tock, tick-tock. She's typing on a dead board, smiling. Great job, team. Synergy. She mutters under her breath over and over. Synergy. 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 I can't breathe. The air is getting thinner or thicker. Tastes like ozone and desperation. Look at my screen. New email sender. Admin subject. The Amazing Digital Quarterly Review. Don't open it, don't click it. Cursor moves on its own. Drifts across the screen, fighting my hand on the mouse. Plastic friction. Click email. Opens, no text, just an image. Attached, a picture of me taken from the webcam. Right now, eyes wide, mouth open in silent panic. And in the background of the photo, standing right behind my chair, is a figure made of static scribbles, black chaotic lines. Vibrating, abstracted, freeze. Don't turn around, don't turn around. Feel the cold radiating from behind me. Smell the ink, hear the breathing. Wet rattling. Alex. Voice sounds like paper tearing. Is it real? Close eyes, count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Hey champ. Working hard or hardly working? Gary's voice right in my ear, loud. Open eyes, spin chair. Nobody. They're just the empty aisle. Jackson is laughing, quiet, wheezing laughter. He saw me flinch. He saw the terror. You okay there, Spaz? You look like you're glitching out. I'm fine. I rasp. Voice sounds foreign, just tired. Tired is a state of mind. Caffeinate and dominate. Jackson points to the break room. Go get some bean juice. You look like a texture that hasn't loaded in yet. Stand up again, legs barely working. Walk to the break room, mechanically passing department 7B again. Don't look at Kevin's cube. Don't look at Kevin's cube. Look, it's walled off, literally. A new drywall panel has been installed over the entrance. Wet paint, smell of fresh latex. Sign taped to it under maintenance. Do not enter. Touch the wall, solid, cold. Press ear against it. Faint scratching on the other side, like a dog trying to dig through a door. And weeping, low, digital weeping. Auto-tuned sobbing. Pull away, heart hammering. This isn't burnout. This isn't a stressful quarter. This is a prison. And the walls are eating us. Walk to the coffee machine. Press black machine. Whirs dispenses a cup of thick, gray sludge. Stare at it. Ripples in the liquid, concentric circles, forming an eye staring back at me. Blink. Just coffee bubbles, just sludge. Take a sip. Burns my tongue. Pain is good. Pain is real. Pain means I haven't abstracted yet. Lean against the counter. Look out the window. Blinds are drawn, slats bent. Peek through, expecting the parking lot, expecting gray skies and Hondas. See nothing. White void, blinding. Featureless white, infinite, and floating in the distance, huge, geometric. Letters floating in the sky. Skybox texture missing. Let the blinds snap back. Slide down the cabinet to the floor. Knees to chest. Laugh, choke, laugh again. It's a hysterical sound, jagged. I'm not crazy. I whisper into the stale air of the break room. I'm not crazy. The world is just broken. Pull the melted pawn out of my pocket. Clutch it. Tight, sharp edges dig into my palm, drawing blood. No check palm, no blood, just pixels. Red, blocky pixels leaking from the wound. Stare at them. Mesmerized, the horror is simmering down. Replaced by a cold, hollow acceptance. Ennui washing over the panic. So this is it. This Is the show stand up, wipe the pixels on my pants, fix tie, walk back out ready for phase 2. Walk back to the desk farm, the fluorescent lights are humming louder now, not a buzz, a scream, a constant, high-frequency screech that vibrates in the fillings of my teeth. Nobody else seems to hear it. Jackson is leaning back in his chair, tossing a stress ball against the ceiling. Thwack, thwack, thwack. The ball hits the same acoustic tile. Every time there is a gray smudge there, perfectly round. Hey, buddy, he says without looking at me. You got a little bit of corruption on your shirt. Look down, the red pixel stain on my trousers. Rub it with my thumb. It smears like wet chalk, doesn't soak and just sits on top of the fabric mesh. Spilled cranberry juice. I lie, voice sounds flat, compressed. Cranberry juice. Jackson repeats. He catches the ball, squeezes it. His fingers sink into it too deep, like the foam has no density. Sure, let's go with that. Cranberry juice for the cranberry boy. He laughs. It's a can sound, literally sounds like it's coming from a speaker. Inside his throat, low bitrate. Tinny, sit down, grab. The mouse plastic feels greasy. Monitor wakes up. Spreadsheet is still there. Q3 projections, final V2 real. XLSX. Stare at the numbers, they're moving just slightly, swimming in their cells, shifting decimal points. When I blink, focus on cell C414. 000, blink 41. 000, blink, help me, blink 14. 000, rub eyes, hard sparks fly behind my eyelids. Geometric sparks. Wireframe triangles, not phosphenes. Vectors. Attention team. Gary's voice booms across the floor. He's standing on a desk in the center of the bullpen, wearing a party hat, bright yellow cone, with polka dot string digging into his jowls. Drop your headsets, pause your deliverables. It's mandatory fun time. Everyone stands up, unison chair, legs scrape, the carpet screeching sound harmonizes. With the lights, I stay seated, gripping the armrests, knuckles white. Jackson kicks my chair leg up and at M, gloomy. Gary demands a sacrifice of joy. Slowly stand, legs feel like lead pipes, joints grinding. Walk to the center. The circle forms. Susan from HR is there holding a sheet cake. Frosting is neon blue, unnaturally bright, radioactive. Today we celebrate. Gary announces, spreading his arms. His suit jacket texture stretches weirdly across his shoulders, polygons clipping through his neck. Another successful rotation around the sun for Kevin. Silence, absolute silence. We all look at the walled-off cube, department 7B. The drywall, the wet paint, the scratching sound is gone now, replaced by a low, static hum. Kevin couldn't be here today. Gary beams, teeth blindingly white. Too many teeth. Count them. Top row has 16 incisors. He's been promoted to the back end. But his spirit is with us. Let's sing. They start singing, for he's a jolly good fellow. Tempo is wrong, too fast. Susan is crying while she sings, tears flowing down her cheeks, but her mouth is a rictus grin, eyes wide and terrified, which nobody can deny. Jackson is singing loudest, staring right at me, mocking me with his enthusiasm. Deny. Deny. The word repeats, skips. Nobody can deny. NY. Gary is frozen mid-clap, hands touching, vibrating. The world stutters, frame rate drop. I look at the cake. The text in icing says happy extraction day, blink, happy birthday, blink, null reference exception. Stomach turns over, acid reflux tastes like copper and ozone. I can't do this, I can't act, I can't be a NPC in this hell. Turn around. Push through the circle. Hey, where you going, champ? Gary's voice snaps back to normal speed. Cake is mandatory. Morale is mandatory. Ignore him, walk faster, past the cubes, past the water cooler, where the bubbles are frozen in suspension, past the reception desk, head for the fire exit, heavy steel door, red letters, emergency. Exit, only alarm will sound, I don't care. Let the alarm sound, let the whole simulation crash. Hit the push bar, hard door swings open, no alarm, no siren, just the sound of wind. Step into the stairwell, concrete steps, metal railings, smell of dust. An old paper door slams shut behind me. Muffled silence. Finally start walking down, aiming for the ground floor. Lobby, glass doors, sunlight, smog, beautiful, dirty, real smog. Walk down one flight, landing sign on the wall, floor 4. Strange, I was on floor 4, must be a typo. Keep walking, footsteps echo loudly, clack, clack, clack. Rhythm is hypnotic. Down another flight, landing floor 4. Stop, stare at the number, plastic placard, braille dots Underneath run finger over braille, smooth dots are printed on, not raised. Texture is flat, panic rising again, cold sweat on back of neck, okay, whisper okay. Glitch in the matrix, ha ha, very funny. Look over the railing down the center shaft, darkness, infinite drop. No bottom, just a receding gradient of gray to black. Look up, infinite rise, stairwell, spiraling up into white fog. Start running down, taking steps 2 at a time. Jumping landings, flight after flight, floor, 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 floor. Floor and lungs burning, legs screaming, burst through the next door, expecting the lobby, expecting the street, stumble, out carpet, fluorescent hum, cubicles, Jackson is there. Leaning back, tossing the ball, thwack, thwack, bathroom break. He smirks, you look flushed. Cardio is good for the productivity. Look around, wild-eyed, it's the same room, but wrong, the colors are desaturated sepia, tone, the air smells stale, like ozone and rot. Walk over to the window. Rip the blinds down, plastic slats clatter to the floor, window is gone. Just a wall painted blue with a crude drawing of a sun, crayon on drywall, scribbled clouds. Nice view today. Jackson says he's not looking at me, he's looking at his screen, typing on a keyboard that isn't plugged in, cord dangling loose. Swaying gently, where is the exit? I scream, voice cracks, pathetic sound, where is the goddamn door, Jackson? He stops typing, slowly swivels the chair, his face is blank, smooth, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, just flesh, then the skin tears open. Jagged vertical slit, there is no door, silly. The slit speaks, voice is Gary's voice, is mine, voice is a dial-up modem screech, we are already home. Stumble back, trip over a wastebasket, fall hard, hit head on the corner of a desk. Sharp pain, grab forehead, pull hand away, no blood, no pixels, just static black and white snow leaking from my head, clouding my vision. My hand is dissolving, fingers turning into wireframe. The geometry is failing, I scramble backward on the floor. Crab walking away from the faceless thing, bump into something solid, legs, look up, Gary standing over me holding the cake slice, missing. You missed the party. He says sadly, glitchily, his head rotates 360 degrees, neck twisting like a wet rag. We saved you a piece. He offers the plate, the cake is pulsing, breathing, blue frosting expanding and contracting. I look at the office, the walls are closing in, literally sliding closer, crushing the empty cubicles, desks, folding like origami. Crunching metal and plastic, the world is shrinking, optimizing, saving memory. Closing the loop, I curl up, fetal position under a desk that is slowly ceasing to exist, close eyes, cover ears, humming. Gets louder, screaming, gets louder. Happy extraction day. They chant in unison, happy extraction day. Stay there for hours or minutes, time is irrelevant, the crushing stops, silence returns, slowly open eyes, I am sitting in my chair, desk is pristine, spreadsheet is open. Q3 projections, final V2 real. XLSXL C4 says 14,000, Jackson is next to me, face normal, smirk, normal, you okay, spaz. He taps his temple, zoned out for a second there. Looked like a BSOD. Look at my hand, solid flesh, look at the window, blinds are up, sky is white, featureless. But the glass is real, touch, the mouse, click, save file. The resentment is gone, burned out, replaced by a cold, heavy stone in my gut, the absolute certainty. The mathematical proof there is nowhere to go, the stairwell is a loop, the sky is a texture, the pain is the only thing that renders correctly, I'm fine. I say, voice dead, just loading. Jackson chuckles, that's the spirit. Caffeinate and dominate. I pick up the phone, dial tone, listen to it, it's a perfect F-sharp, beautiful, hang up, stare at the screen, ready for the next frame. Time becomes a flat circle, minutes bleed into hours, not in a flow state way, in a buffering way, stare at the cursor, blinking in cell C4, blink, blink, blink. It pulses in sync with my heartbeat, or maybe my heart has recalibrated to the refresh rate of the monitor. 60 Hz existence, Jackson is typing next to me, clack, 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 enter rhythm. Is too perfect, too algorithmically generated, I don't look at him, afraid, I'll see the wireframe again, afraid. I'll see nothing at all, just a placeholder asset labeled coworker male 03. Hey hero, Gary's voice, real voice, this time heavy with phlegm and false camaraderie, mandatory fun in the break room. Linda's birthday. I turn my head mechanically, neck stiff, coming. Voice sounds compressed like an MP3 encoded at 64 kbps. Stand-up knees pop sound echoes too loudly. In the carpeted silence walk down the aisle, past the rows of cubicles, gray felt walls, gray carpet, gray ceiling tiles. One tile is stained brown. Water damage or corruption in the texture map. Doesn't matter, enter the kitchenette. Fluorescents are humming, a high-pitched drone drilling into the base of my skull. 10 people, standing in a semicircle holding paper plates. Limp posture. Linda is in the center wearing a sash that says Birthday Queen in glitter glue. She looks tired, eyes possess the dull sheen of processed glass. Happy birthday to you. Someone starts off-key, everyone joins in. A discordant, muddled chorus, mouths moving out of sync with the audio. I watch their jaws, unhinged slightly, teeth exposed. The song drags on slower than it should be, stretching the vowels until they tear. Happy birthday, Dr. Linda. It sounds like a dirge, a funeral hymn. For the time we are wasting time, we will never get back. Deleted sectors. Gary hands me a plate, grocery store sheet cake, white frosting, blue trim, exactly like the hallucination, but this one is dry. Stale, smells like preservatives and sadness. Eat up. Gary says sugar rush to get through the 3 p.m. slump. I look at the cake, take a plastic fork, cut a piece, lift it to my mouth. Tongue tastes wax and chemical sweetness. Swallow. It sits in my stomach like a stone. Look up at the exit sign above the kitchenette door, illuminated red letters. EXIT. The paint on the door frame is chipped, reveal of gray metal underneath. I know what's behind it. Hallway, elevator, lobby, street, apartment, bed, alarm, shower, bus, elevator, hallway. Desk. It's not an exit, it's just a loading zone for the next level. The geometry loops. The skybox is static. Is it good? Linda asks. She's looking right at me, expectant, desperate for validation. Needs the script to execute correctly. If I scream, if I flip the table, if I claw my face off, nothing changes. They'll just call security, file a report, replace me with a temp. The circus continues. The show must go on. My agency is a rounding error, 0.001%. I feel the corners of my mouth twitch, muscles spasming against the apathy. Force the zygomaticus major to contract, pulling lips back, baring teeth, eyes wide, unblinking, staring. Past Linda, past the wall, past the render distance, into the void of the spreadsheet waiting on my desk. The absolute horror of the safety of it all. The eternal recurrence of the mundane. It's great, Linda. I say, tone flat, dead, really moist. Keep smiling, don't blink. Eyes start to water, tears blurring the room into a smear of gray and beige. Static fills my peripheral vision. The humming gets louder, drowning out the small talk, drowning out the chewing sounds. I am sitting in a chair, I am standing in a room, I am trapped in a box. And I am smiling, and I am smiling, and I am smiling.